Just as soon as you went live, just dead. You're dead. Gone.
This is a horrible way to start a live
I
stream.
hate this. I think it's going.
Welcome back to the BlameGirl podcast with
Mr. Terry Wayne, hopefully.
and we got Jeff and Tara in the house.
I have Pitsky.
And it's been very embarrassing tonight.
I like
It's been very embarrassing. Jeff, how was your weekend?
It was wonderful. I had my last show at the Dania Improv, and I feel complete.
Your last show ever?
For the South Florida scene, yes.
Yes.
So you motherfuckers don't be paying no much. No.
You don't be put me in with the motherfuckers. I ain't producing nothing. All right.
No, this scene is wonderful.
So where was your last show at?
I was at the Dania Improv yesterday, and somehow I'm still alive despite all the alcohol that we drank after.
How was the set? Like, was it fun?
I told someone about this, and as always, I said, I had a great time. And then they were like, you're very modest. It probably means you killed. And I was like, I don't know. Ask somebody that.
I'm going to have to ask someone else.
Yes, ask someone else.
What else did you do this weekend? I think you did something on Saturday. I was going to go, but.
Saturday. Now I don't even remember my life.
Rebecca?
Oh, Rebecca's party. Yes. Yeah, Rebecca Lovelace was having a party at her home, and many, many fine peoples were in attendance. Not all the fine
What
people.
kind of party? Tell us that.
It was a raccoon removal party. It was what she calls her ex.
I hope he's not mixed.
Oh no, this guy is
What?
so whatever. But it
Okay.
was fun, and we had a great time, and everybody was there till like 2 a.m. It was a good time.
I wanted to come, but I've been having car trouble. I had a show on Saturday night in West Palm, and my car on the way to the show was like oil pressure low, turn off engine.
Oh,
So I was like, if I get to make it home, I'll be lucky. So
oil pressure low is a bad sign.
Mm.
Also means your self-esteem is going down.
speak for yourself. Never. Terry, how was your weekend?
I had a great weekend. I was in New York
damn it.
for the weekend. I was in Manhattan. Got to do
New York?
some. Huh? What?
I just said New York for the week.
Yeah,
Nothing, go on.
you're barely coming in, but that's fine. No, we had a great time. Got to do some stuff. Got to do some shows at the same 2 clubs I was at last year. You know, met a lovely young woman. Took her back to the hotel with a wife. It was awesome. And pretty sure. Yeah, and pretty sure I impregnated my wife this weekend. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, pretty.
Okay, good. Right on schedule.
Right
Terry's
on schedule.
trying to impregnate his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like you're supposed to do it, right?
With power of the Lord.
And
No, I
another
don't.
woman.
I don't. When I shoot my shots, I usually don't miss. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I look forward to it.
Talk
Maybe-
a little bit louder if you can.
Me? You're barely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
Uh,
you hear me?
yes. It'll be a
Okay.
good
Use my
conception.
projectile voice.
It'll be a good conception story if it works out. So
Yeah, it'll be a good conception if it works out. Are you gonna tell your child how it was conceived?
no. That's more of a story you tell friends and jealous other men, but not the kid. It's no need for the emotional scars. What you keep going out. You're gone.
I know. I don't know why. I can't
Would you
do
just
anything about
do it on your phone, please, instead of trying to use that janky computer, and just do it on your phone?
Look, if it goes out again, we'll switch to the phone.
Okay. Because I use the phone every week and I never
right.
have an issue.
And video looks like shit, so it's fine.
Oh,
My video looks
All
like
right,
shit.
so
Are you
my
kidding me?
weekend- Oh, My video looks great on my screen.
Oh,
No, it doesn't.
what?
Watch,
Hype man
wa-
over.
watch it on YouTube. Watch it on YouTube.
Okay.
It looks
Oh,
very
thank
different.
Oh, look at it. Oh, it does. I see that now.
That's so Raven.
Yeah, I know. It's not Raven at
I
all.
might have done something.
We look terrible on YouTube.
Mm.
I look like I'm underwater on YouTube. Also, I look fat.
Let's see.
I am fat. But
Me too,
on
buddy.
YouTube, I'm
Don't worry.
even
Don't
more
worry
fat.
about it. Fat brothers
don't
stick
know.
together. It's
I
no
don't
problem.
know why. All right. By the way, my weekend was great.
Nobody cares. Just get your
Nobody asked.
freaking get your cameras
Now-
working.
No.
The guest doesn't pick on me like that. It's just Terry. Oh my God.
No, Jeff
right,
is what he's an impromptu guy. He's gonna follow the leader. So
Yeah. And he's a mean person when he's performing.
I
so.
think this is true.
My weekend was pretty good. Friday, I don't remember what I did. And Saturday, I had a show in West Palm. Yeah, I don't think I did anything Friday night. Saturday, I had a show in West Palm at the Bark Republic. That was pretty good. And then Sunday, I didn't do anything other than like house stuff. So it's good. And tonight, I'm at Red Bar in Miami. For all of you watching that want to come see me.
well, if yeah. First of all,
All
like
right.
if you don't remember what you did Friday, then whatever you did was awesome. So I said if you don't remember what you
I
did
didn't really
Friday,
miss it.
yeah. And that's great. This is a disaster.
Am I frozen again on your end?
You keep freezing like every 2 minutes.
I don't know what to do about it. Okay.
Use
okay.
your phone.
I'm gonna join on my phone.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on my phone.
Until then, I will sing show tunes.
Please.
All right.
Keep them entertained.
Clang,
Jeff.
clang, clang with the
Wait
Wait for
trolley.
this guest guy.
Shake off.
Ring,
There we
ring,
go.
ring
He
with the
knows something.
bell.
I don't know any show tunes.
I love musical theater. Love it.
I realized as usual, I put forth an idea that I could not finish. Here he is
Right.
in another world. Now
Is
we're
this better?
It's something. I don't know why you insist on doing these things on location. It never works. Never
not
works out. It's
not
better than it's better. Yeah, it's not freezing. Yeah.
It's better than terrible,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't call it excellent. May not
Well,
even call it
I
good.
keep telling her not to try and do these things on location because it never works. It's always an issue.
I do it in space all the time.
And it's terrible. It's terrible broadcasting.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
All right. Anywho,
The only problem with me doing it from my phone is I don't have my notes. Can you pull up the notes on your phone?
I'm going to
I
pull
have
up
it. I have it here.
the BlameGirl podcast.
So unprofessional.
I have it here.
Hold on, I just need to pass some of these
Yeah,
nudes.
but you don't know how to transition, Terry. It's fine.
Here we are.
Oh, I don't know how to transition. No, but I know how to broadcast.
Some blaming. Let me ask y'all one more time. Are you guys ready to do some blaming?
Yeah, if we can.
All right. So, y'all, this week, Elon Musk, he polluted the ocean. Who's to blame? And let me just give you a little bit of backstory. He sent his SpaceX out and it exploded over the ocean. Go.
Yeah, that's what's really polluting the ocean is one rocket.
It's a whole
Which,
fucking rocket,
which,
man.
by the way, they went and collected most of it because it's worth a lot of money, even as wreckage. You know, like this is
Oh, he
just.
collected- you think he collected it?
Do I think? Yeah, that
Has
it's like
it
a.
been confirmed? Did you read a confirmation that this?
It's like $100. No, they always do. It's like $100 million rocket. Yeah, you don't just. Oh well, it's gone. All right, everybody, let's start over.
Leave it in the bottom of the ocean with the fucking trenches.
It doesn't matter. There's a continent worth of plastic in the Pacific Ocean. Like this is just somebody online, some hyper liberal saying, we're gonna pick this or that, or always trying to just looking for problems. It's ridiculous.
And there's so much plastic in the ocean already that I've seen many sharks having frat parties. A lot of solo cups.
Yeah,
very drunk sharks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's Elon's fault, but power to him. The sharks need to party.
No, it's everyone in Florida. They're all throwing those high noon cans and White Claws in the ocean, and then the sharks get them.
This is what happened. He sent the SpaceX out. It was not running appropriately, and it self-destructed. I don't know why this is allowed. Now, it's like Terry says, he's going to go collect the pieces, which is going to be very expensive. But if anyone could afford it, he can to retrieve them.
Well, it would be more expensive to leave them in the ocean because the rockets are worth so much. This is just nitpicky people online trying to find a problem with everything. That's all it is.
First of all, it's not trying to find a problem every night. I don't like Elon Musk.
I know you don't, and that's why you're biased, and you're biased against it. So you like the nitpicky people online. You're looking for a reason to take him to task.
Yeah, and I think a reason to take him to task is, as the richest man in the world, what the fuck? You're polluting our oceans, dude.
Well, listen. It's fine to have your opinion. You just got to know that when you do that, you lose all credibility because you're not objective anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm being honest about me not being objective and me not liking Elon Musk. I just don't think that I don't know. I feel like this shouldn't be allowed.
Well, why? Let me ask you this about Elon Musk, Gio. Why do you give me so much leeway because I'm on the spectrum, but you don't give him any leeway when he's on the spectrum?
He's a billionaire.
At least you're honest. Yes, he's rich. That's right.
Oh my God. There's a little struggling bird here on the floor.
Oh no, shut up.
What?
Oh.
What's happening? I can't hear you.
He has something in his mouth. There's a baby bird. Just don't step on him. Oh, right. Jeff, why did you have
we have an animal emergency on the streets of Miami.
No, he's fine. He's just drunk.
Wait till Joanna gets here because she saved a baby bird the other day. I will say that.
I pick up that bird. I'm afraid its mother will disown it forever.
That's what they say.
That's a myth. They don't.
Well,
yeah, it's a myth.
Pick up all the birds. I'm just going to start picking up all the ladies.
Yeah, do it.
That's what some people call birds.
Yeah, grab them right by the parrot. They let you do it when you're famous.
What you said?
I said grab them right by the parrot.
Grab them right by the parrot.
Grab them by the parrot.
Yeah, they let you do it when you're famous.
A lot of people want to grab Lizzo by the parrot. I'll say that. This week, Lizzo was in Tennessee, Terry. Did you get to see her? No, because you were in New York.
That's right.
She performed in Tennessee, and she had basically a drag show on her show. Who's to blame, guys?
Are they not allowed to do drag shows there anymore?
No, again, this is another myth.
Are you trying to stick up for Tennessee?
I'm not trying to stick up for Tennessee. I am, however, trying to be reasonable and logical. There is no law in Tennessee that says you can't have a drag show. There is a law that says you.
Terry?
I was just about to tell you until you interrupted. But there is a law that says you can't have a drag show in a public area, meaning they just went after the drag time story hour thing. That was mainly they wanted to get out of the libraries because those are considered public areas. There's still gay clubs. There's still drag shows. They're everywhere. In fact, there's more now just as it's a modem of resistance. There are actually more drag shows now.
In Tennessee politics, who's to blame for that? That's
for
what I
what?
want to know. Why did she feel the need to invite drag queens to the stage?
I think she's just showing solidarity and saying, fuck this conservative government in Tennessee, and we'll show them, because again, it's a private concert. You have to have a ticket to get in. It's a private concert in a private venue. They can't do anything to stop you.
It there is what you're saying. Jeff, what do you think? Why do you think Lizzo made this show of solidarity?
I mean, just the way everything's been happening lately all over this country. I think like a lot of these performers are coming up trying to like show solidarity with the community. So, I think Terry's correct though. I mean, right?
And good for her. I would totally do the same thing if I was in her position. I would have every drag queen in Nashville on that stage, because fuck them,
And Lizzo is more of she's like a Cher, or not like Cher, but like she's on that path to be like the mother to like gay men, and so
she's gonna be a drag icon one day. Yeah,
and she blows flute very well.
That's what she said.
Excellent flautist.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate the civil disobedience from Lizzo in this case, because I mean, we talked about on this very podcast just weeks ago about the drag queen ban. And I also think that she's doing it because Tennessee is a hotbed of political conversation right now. We've been talking about it for weeks. First, you had the Justins that got ousted. You got the school shooting. You got the drag queen ban. And I think it's interesting that this was her stance, not her stance, but the issue that she chose to highlight. Thank you. So I thought that was really cool.
Well, yeah, because this is the law that makes the least sense. You know what I mean? Like, even if you talk about the gun debate and the gun law debate, there's a rational argument there to be had about the constitutionality of gun laws and the constitutionality of gun ownership. There's a rational debate that can be had there. But the drag queen thing, that's just culture war bullshit from the GOP. That's it. On a state level, that's all it is. It's one too many stories about drag time, story hour, blah, 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 blah. I've said it a million times on here. I'll say it a million more. If your kid in 2023 is reading anything, fucking good for them. I don't care if they're reading Mein Kampf. At least they're reading,
Well, to be
I don't
fair,
give a damn. They're reading something.
They are not reading. They're being read too.
It doesn't matter. That's even better. How many parents do you think actually read to their kids these days? Like, seriously, as a parent, you with your little book, you're going to compete with an iPad? Get the fuck out of here.
Let me ask you this. What if it was Nazis reading to your children?
Well, it ain't. So we're not going to even have that conversation. It ain't.
Terry, let me just break this to you.
It's a dude dressed up like it's a biological male dressed up like a Disney princess reading a story. That's all it is.
Terry, there are child Nazis.
There are child Nazis. That's true.
There are child Nazis out here, folks. Who's to blame? And I bring this story up. This week, there was a Jewish student with autism who had a fucking swastika carved into his back by his fucking peers. And that tells me that there are child Nazis. Who's to blame? Why are there still Nazis, and why are they so young, guys?
First of all, there's always been child Nazis, but I'm going to let Jeff take the point on Nazis.
You want to hear my point on Nazis?
Yeah, I'm going to let you run point on the Nazi story, because
you go first. Who's to blame? Why are there child Nazis?
I think it's the same issue with all kinds of bad shit that gets passed out. If your parents are doing one thing, they're going to show you what they know, or what they want you to know, or what they want you to be the opposite of what they knew. So, that just always tends to be the thing. It's not the kid's fault. Definitely not some child going like, you know what? All kids want to do if you put them all in a group together is play. It's only when we start.
It's a learned behavior.
Right. We start introducing all these things, and that's what makes people go. Just like that guy was introduced to a moped.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, usually when you introduce a child to something at a young age, they tend to rebel and go the opposite way when they become sentient adults. I mean, I was raised in a church. Do I look like a pastor? No, I'm not. So, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, you know, you can brainwash a kid to do anything except for maybe eat broccoli, but anything else you can brainwash a kid when they're young because they're not developed yet, you know.
Yeah.
But they're gonna kick most of that as they grow, you know.
I kind of blame Kanye a little bit.
Okay, blame Kanye.
He won't even let his kids learn about Nazis in his schools, you know?
Who gives a fuck? It's one dude.
You know what I think? This is what I think, really, seriously. I think it's a little bit of white fright. I think white people are so scared that they are going to become the minority and be treated like white people treated the minority, that they're like just fighting tooth and nail, even with their kids, making them little fucking Nazis carving swastikas into
Well, hang on. There's a big flaw in that argument because globally, white people already are the minority. Let's put that. Maybe not. Yeah,
I wasn't talking about globally. Clearly, I was talking about the United States.
Well, I'm saying in the U.S., yes, we still make up more than 80% of the population, but globally, yes, we are a single-digit.
I'm not talking about globally.
Minority.
I'm not talking about globally. I'm talking about.
So you're saying you don't care about the Earth, only America? Got it.
No, I'm not. I'm saying this. Only Americans are banning CRT in schools, which isn't even taught. Only Americans are, you know, allowing
we've done that.
Anti-Semitism to go on, you know.
Well, but you're saying
they allow for politicians to support it. So
no. See, you're saying allowing anti-Semitism to go on. That's a dangerous statement because you're saying you should stop anti-Semitism, but that also means you're stopping free speech. And that's a very slippery slope because, yeah, it's great to stop free speech when it's something you don't like. But then what happens when the next person takes that precedent and turns it against you?
I love how white people never want to stop hate speech. It's hate speech. Stop it.
Well, it is hate speech. I completely agree. And I think it's despicable. However,
and it contributes to white fright. And that's why I don't give a fuck that Tucker Carlson was fucking fired today because he's a big part of that problem.
Yes, he is. He's a very big. I was so happy when I woke up today and somebody had sent me that article and I was like, oh,
yeah,
Tucker Carlson got fired. That's awesome. All it took was $750 million. And they fired that piece of shit.
Throw our last subject away to talk about that.
I mean, he's just going to get his own show on Rumble or one of these fucking stupid apps.
Yeah. Who gives a shit? He's off the main network.
In case you don't know, which you probably do, media is firing everyone, guys. Today, Tucker Carlson got fired, and so did Don Lemon. And that's why I'm like, let's just throw our last topic out. This is really big news. Like, why did a conservative and a liberal get fired today? Who's to blame?
Because they suck in the same way. Both of them do. Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson suck in the exact same way.
You think Don Lemon sucks as much as Tucker Carlson?
I didn't say as much. I said in the same way. They suck in the same way, which is their whole job is to get their viewers angry and pissed off and afraid of whoever is on the opposition point of view, which is the last thing we need to do because these aren't your enemies. We're not on a battlefield. These are your neighbors. You know, we need a cooling plate. We need to calm down and just talk to each other. It's fine. I'm a more progressive guy, but I'm surrounded by my conservative family. You think I turn my back on them? No, I don't. Because what the fuck kind of good is that going to do?
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it will wake them the fuck up. I don't know that your family is like.
They don't need to be woken up. Well, they're not racist. Of course not. We're from Memphis. If we were racist, we would have been murdered a long time ago.
Yeah, if y'all were racist, then I'm like, yeah, turn your back on your family. It's fine, but.
Well, yeah.
What do you think, Jeff?
I have my family's pretty much directly divided down the middle with kind of liberal ideas and conservative ideas. So we have conversations all the time. But yeah. I think that's the difference. I see conversations happening, not arguments. It's never like I'm trying to get you to realize that your point is wrong. It's more just like, all right, let's see what we can understand about each other. We may disagree, but we're still like, nobody hates each other. Yeah, like nobody's gonna hate each other because whatever.
Luckily, I'm a black person, and my family pretty much all agree. So, like,
well, that's not good either. You don't want everybody all agreeing.
No, I won't say that because like it took a minute. Like when Bill Cosby happened, for example, my mom is old, so she's got that mentality. She was like, "Well, why were they going back to his apartment?" You really say that, but
they're sleeping in that bar.
Well, now see, I can identify with that because my father was a huge Bill Cosby fan, and when all that stuff started coming out, you could just see.
For his behavior.
No, he wasn't apologizing for his behavior. He was just like, well, you never know. Maybe it's just a scam to get money or this. He just didn't want to believe it. And so he just kept fighting back on it because it's not because he wanted to defend him. He just didn't want to believe that was true. And one of his idols was a scumbag,
I still don't believe Michael Jackson did anything. So
Michael Jackson totally did all that shit. Yes, he did. He was looking in little kids' buttholes. That's what Michael Jackson was doing.
Back to Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson. So why were they fired? This was really big news. Like I was like, Terry sends me the article today. I'd already seen it. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
They can't shut down the networks. They got to shut down the people so they can keep the money going. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And really, the network of Fox should be shut down because they all perpetuated the Dominion.
Well, that I don't think people realize how big a case that was and what kind of precedent it's going to set going forward. The funny thing is, if you'll think back to Donald Trump's original speeches on libel laws, what did he always say? He always said, we're going to open up the libel laws so that when they say, false and hurtful articles that are completely false, we can sue them and win lots of money. And that's exactly what happened, but it happened to Fox and not CNN, Yeah. And there's a reason for that. And you can go on your political basis, or you could say it's just a liberal woke media or whatever. No, this is the judicial system, and not only that, Fox settled, which means they're admitting guilt. They're saying, yes, we put on the news false shit.
Tucker Carlson was part of the settlement.
He might have been, to be honest. It is a sealed settlement, so we'll never truly know.
They had to fucking fire him so they wouldn't have to pay so much money. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Like,
how awesome would that be? How awesome would that be if the Dominion voting systems put it into the settlement that yes, we'll settle for half. We'll settle for half of what we're asking, but you have to fire Tucker. That would be such a dick move.
But Don Lemon makes me sad because I liked him. I mean, I know he was very liberal or whatever, but he's
super liberal.
He wasn't like Tucker.
Don Lemon is super liberal, and I've always found him to be very arrogant and very kind of you can tell, like, he's the kind of guy that says all this stuff on television, and then as soon as the camera's off, he just yells at his assistant. And, calls her an idiot and being like, just get it right. 2 creams, 1 sugar. Yeah, exactly. He seems very arrogant. Yeah.
Anything to complain about. All right. Well, I want to take the time to welcome our guest formally, Jeff Quintana.
Jeff Quintana, very fun.
Director, comedian. Welcome, Jeff. Thank you so much for everything, being here, giving me a partial ride tonight. Like, the best.
I drove the bright line here.
A partial ride?
Well, I had, because my car is messing up, I took the Uber to the Bright Line it to Fort Lauderdale, met Jeff drove the rest of the way here.
Dangerously and fast. But we are alive. So I win again.
Well, that's fine. I fully support the Bright Line. I think it's...
So we're here now, and we can get a little bit more intimate and learn a little bit more about Jeff, which I'm sure we all want to know. Jeff, how long have you been doing comedy?
I have been in the comedy scene since 2003, and I've been watching live comedy since like 97. My brother is a comedian.
Yeah. So how did you get into it?
I was doing much drugs and partying, and my brother thought that this was a dangerous form of living. So he kind of tricked me into going into this audition for his improv and sketch group called Impromedy. And he told me we were going out to party. And he was like, we just need to drop off this crate here at this little theater a second. I was like, cool, can't wait. I love alcohol. And then he grabbed the crate, we bring it inside. And just the way this room is set up, we're already on stage. And then he was like, all right, everyone, we're going to start the audition.
This is the best start. It's like story I've ever heard.
And
you got surprised into doing comedy.
And then because like I had only fake bro confidence back then, you know, I was more worried about looking like, you know, sorry to say the word, a pussy back then, you know, then sitting there and just being like, no, like right now, if somebody told me not to do something, I'd be like, no, I don't want to do that. But back then I didn't have that. I had the fake confidence. So he let me into the group and I was the worst one there. I failed miserably. And there were a lot of people that were angry. And I literally got in because I knew somebody. Look at that. Show business is the same on all the levels.
Nepo baby. You're a Nepo baby. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So since you've been doing comedy, I want to know what's your favorite venue in South Florida? And then if it's a different one that's your favorite venue, you can tell me that too.
I mean, favorite venue to perform at? I mean, it's still the Dania Improv. I think it's one of the best.
Basic. That is a basic girl answer. We do not allow improvs to be the favorites. It's too easy. Right. Everybody would say the Improv. You know, obviously the improvs are great to perform at.
One.
That's why we don't allow them.
All right,
because it'd be the same answer.
Answer is I can't think of a place literally off the top of my head. That's how bad most of these venues are.
Let me throw some stuff out.
Well, the Coop no longer exists, but
say places that don't even exist. Like people would say
How about the Villain Theater? How about Villain Theater? How about Doghouse? How about the old Robot? You know,
yeah. I mean, that's all great.
But there's nothing that pops into your mind.
Not really. Like I can't really like if I thought of one.
He's a big star, guys. He's a big star.
Well, I just like sitting there and I'm like, I created multiple venues in this city.
Yeah,
so then name one of your own venues. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, I'm saying none of them are around anymore. But like, well, some of them are.
It doesn't have. It doesn't have to still be around. Doesn't have to be around.
Yeah. I'm trying to think honestly off the top of my head. I really don't have more than just like some of these better comedy venues. I could probably say one of my places that I liked performing all the time, for whatever reason, it was just a good room to try shit. Was Thank You Miami, down in Miami.
That was.
Yeah,
we've been there. That was fun. We like Thank You Miami.
And I don't think we've gotten Thank You Miami as an answer, so that's really good.
No, that's the first time.
Because I know you've traveled. What's your favorite venue to perform at nationally?
Nationally,
and you can say the Improv.
No, it doesn't exist anymore currently, but the old Improv Olympic Theater in Chicago that used to be in Wrigleyville, their downstairs cabaret theater was, I mean, I literally modeled one of my theaters after that cabaret theater, and everybody used to love it. But it's one of the best designed places for comedy I've ever worked in.
Nice.
Where has your comedy journey taken you on your travels?
Like different cities and stuff?
Yeah, where have you traveled to go do comedy?
I mean, I've been to Vegas, I've been to Tempe, I've been to San Francisco.
Tempe, you do the Tempe Improv? Is that where you were?
What was that?
Where you said Tempe, were you at the Tempe Improv or Stand Up Live?
I was at the Tempe Improv that time. Yeah, I went with the
That is a great venue. Such a good venue with the balcony and the door that walks on stage. Such a good place.
You've been to the Tempe one?
I have, yeah, in 2015. Yep.
Did you perform there? Or you...
Yeah.
I like the way that room. I mean, I like any room that's like that, but it felt like almost like a circle, like it's almost like a half circle facing you. So everybody kind of like is forced into the
Yeah.
stage. So I think that's always a good thing.
100%. No, it's set up such a good room. Is Brad still running it out there?
I don't even know who was running it. Like Franco put that all together because he's the real mastermind. I mean,
I don't think we've had Franco on the show, so write that down, Terry.
I'll write it down.
Write it down, Terry.
I will.
What has been, since you play comedy, Jeff, what's been your favorite or proudest moments?
The Tempe Improv.
The Tempe, well, I will say the Tempe Improv did change my trajectory, but I think my proudest moment, I could probably say was in Chicago, like being able to perform like on a Second City stage at one point there, like that was like kind of cool.
That's a big deal, man. That is a very, very big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's like for what I was into more. Now I'm gotten more into the stand-up side, mixing things. But for like sketch and improv and stuff, Second City is like a big deal. So
it's a huge deal.
What's been your biggest challenge doing comedy?
That I couldn't, or now I found it, but that I couldn't find an avenue that could incorporate all the things I wanted to do. So like stand-up was too limited, improv was too loose, sketch was too limited as well. Like everything was a little too limited, even theater.
You found it.
With Antonio Robinstines, my ridiculous character, that I do the.
We're gonna have him on too.
Eventually, yeah, that'll be a horrible time for you guys. But
I'm pretty sure I can manage.
You'll probably get along with him. I'll be like, I get this guy. But like, yeah, I think being able to have that show lets me do all the weird things. I have to put it through like a lens of motivation or whatever, but it really doesn't stop me. I can really do whatever I want. And I like that. I like that I can do everything all in one place.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've conquered the challenge.
Oh, it's taken me 20 years.
Well,
challenges now that you've done that?
Well, that's one of your biggest tells, I think, is you look like an improv guy, right? Like if I didn't know you and I just saw you at a show, I'd be like, that's probably an improv guy, he's over there with Casey Casperson. He's doing the sick puppies thing, or he's doing he's part of a troupe. You just have I don't know how to explain it. Some people, you just look at them like, yep, improv. He's a team player.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I grew up on that side of things, so definitely you never lose it. But it almost made it harder to do comedy at times because it's like you're so used to like, hey, is everybody comfortable? Everybody good? All right, we'll do this idea because everybody's comfortable and good for it. You know, and it's just not the way great comedy happens. Unfortunately, like there's got to be a little bit of an edge. I'm not saying we got to be shocking, but I'm saying there's got to be some edge.
I don't know. I'm really impressed by his comedy because I guess he does incorporate all these things into it. But I've just seen him move rooms that are hard, like Swamp Grass. Quiet the whole set. How long did you do at Swamp Grass?
Like 25.
25 minutes. They paid attention. They laughed. They enjoyed
nice.
It. So it's interesting to watch this man work. So tell me, who is Jeff? Where are you from? What's your day job? Do you have family? Do you have other projects that you want people to know about?
I mean, okay, where am I from? I mean, I'm from Miami originally. I was born in Hialeah, and then I moved to a place called Ghouls that, if you know where that is, then you have had a rough upbringing.
It's in Illinois.
No, Ghouls is in deep Homestead, like Miami area. And it is like probably, it used to be one of the most crime-ridden places in the city.
Sounds like a place in Florida. Okay.
Yeah, well, it lives up to its name. Lots of people getting shot. But so Ghouls, that's where I kind of grew up, and then I moved around like the Keys and everything. I moved a lot because my dad was always getting jobs, and my dad was kind of like a scam artist. So he kind of would just we'd end up having to move or something would happen. I was under witness protection for a while when I was Yeah, 5, 6 years old. So a lot of moving. That's my family life. And then my mother is the most pious Catholic you've ever seen in your life. So my dad's a super atheist scam artist, and then she's on the other side being like, "But tell the truth, it will help us." So I guess so. I don't know. They did not get along. Did not go well.
So wait, so you're saying that you moved around a bunch as a kid because your dad was basically a type of scam artist? I can relate to that because my father was a preacher, so we moved a lot, and he's pretty much never mind.
I'm gonna show this to your dad, Terry.
It's gonna go.
I know. Now that's the clip that'll go viral. All right.
Yeah, I think people always think that I don't love my father or like whatever because of these things, but I'm just like, I loved him. He was just very difficult, and I never knew when the truth was happening.
Is your father no longer with us?
He is no longer with us. Actually, the voice that I do for Antonio is my father's voice, and then the character is very much him. Yeah, well, that's how I get to see him. I say every week I get to see him. I turn into him, and I get to hang out, and I can berate people like he used to do. Because
what a fitting tribute!
I make everyone feel bad still.
Okay.
I don't know.
I want to know about your brother. Is your brother a comedian?
My older brother worked with Second City and was and is a writer. He still writes plays and scripts, and he does improv and sketch comedy and stuff like that. But yeah, he chose love and decided to come back home, because he was originally going to stay in Chicago, but then he just met the woman of his dreams, and they've been together ever since. So it worked out for him,
It's always a woman that ruins it. Always a woman. You heard what I said, woman. I know. She can give me. She does it weekly. It's fine. I always say something that gets under her skin.
Do you have any other projects you want us to know about? I know you're moving to New York. You got anything up there? You got podcasts? What do you want our viewers to know about you?
I mean, my whole show is built on the idea that we're not connecting enough in person. So I really don't do a lot of the social media stuff that much. I'll just post stories or whatever. And I'll post one post a month that just is the shows of the month or whatever. But, I get it. It's old school thinking, but I just think what the world needs more is connection and having real time experiences.
Well, make sure you share this so people can connect with us.
Yeah. All right. So are you ready to play the blame game?
Sure. What is this game?
Are you?
Florida. Who's to blame?
Oh my God. Who's to blame?
Terry Wayne is, because he did it first.
I think Franco definitely was a part of the reason. I mean, Franco bringing me to Tempe so I could be in front of a completely different audience with Antonio was the nail in the coffin for me, because I was just oh, is this going to work anywhere else, or is this just some, Florida bullshit that I'm doing? And when it worked there, I was like, all right, now I think this works anywhere.
When did you start, Antonio?
Antonio started 2021.
Oh, he's new. Okay.
He's pretty new. I mean, he pretty much started with the coop. I have the original video of when he was started. It's on my Instagram there. But it was just an idea of the open mic, and I was doing different characters every week. I would just ask for a suggestion, and I would try a character in stand up. And
so this is the one that you landed on, and he is interesting as fuck. Me, he gonna insult you if you go see Antonio, but it's gonna be funny.
So, then we gotta remember that. So we don't do it anymore.
Don't go to comedy shows if you cannot laugh at.
Well, listen, Don Rickles was one of the best to ever do it, and that was his whole act, was insulting the audience.
He's literally my favorite.
Of course he is. He's
Andy Kaufman and yeah.
He should be everyone's favorite. He should be on the Mount Rushmore in the Washington spot.
I'm not familiar with Don Rickles.
The man had a 50-year career.
I'm sorry.
The man had a 50-year career and never did 1 minute of material on stage ever.
That's true.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Right. Jeff, do you have anything that you'd like to promote? I know you don't. You said your last show here in Florida was last night. But where can people catch you next?
I mean, I'll be putting everything up on, my website, powerfulcomedy.com. thejeffquintana.com, and then my Instagram is The Powerful Comedy.
You have a TikTok?
Powerful.
I don't.
You do. I tagged you today.
Did you? Oh, all
It's
right.
got
I
power.
don't use it all. I think I might keep it as a placeholder. I might have like names that I just took. See, that guy told me to stop.
All right.
That's right. You Google Jeff QAnon.
I mean, I'll tell you when I get there. I don't know. I'm gonna be over there.
Powerful Comedy. And Jeff
BJeffQuintana.com. It's all good. They're all the same.
All right.
That's it.
That is it. I guess it's time for Terry Wayne's Words for White People. Terry, you have the floor.
That's right. And make sure to visit, Google Jeff QAnon here to get all your updates. Just a quick word to my honkies this week on perspective. Because boy, I've had my fill the last couple of weeks. I went from South Florida to Lebanon, which is a one-horse town outside of Nashville, to New York City, downtown Manhattan, and back again. So we've had a lot of perspective, a lot of different perspectives the last 2 weeks. Everything from hyper liberals to far right wing conservatives, and we get involved in this little game, and it's always, I'm going to take you down and I'm going to take this down. It's like a big chess game for our culture where we're just trying to get more and more pieces off the board. It's Tucker Carlson, it's Don Lemon, and Fox is shouting about how great it is that Don Lemon's gone, and MSNBC's, reveling over Tucker Carlson being gone. And I just think we're losing. Every day we do this, we're losing more and more love for our neighbor, more and more love for each other. And you know what? It's going to take something big, and it's probably going to have to happen. The last time I saw this country truly united when it came down to the people was 9/11. 9/11, and then maybe Hurricane Katrina after that, but there was still some resentment even with Hurricane Katrina. There was still some resentment. But 9/11, that was the time everybody came together. So as much as I hate tragedies, we might need a big one just to clear up everybody's perspective and wake you up to the fact that your neighbor is your friend. And not only your friend, it's your countryman. It's your countryman. Try to keep that in mind. They may not believe the same thing as you. They might not have the same religion or the same political affiliations. They might think completely different than you do. But at the end of the day, remember, we're all Americans. That's my countryman. And even though I may not agree with what he says, I'll fight and die for his right to say it, because that's what this place is founded on. And that's the only way we'll ever stand, is together and never divided. We knew that hundreds of years ago, and we know it now. I'm glad that Don Lemon's gone. I'm glad that Tucker Carlson's gone, just so we can fix our own perspectives and remember what's really important. And that is standing by your neighbor, regardless of what they think.
Yeah, well, even if they're a Nazi?
Doesn't matter. All you can do, well, first of all, I've never known a Nazi neighbor. And trust me, they would tell me, because I look like this. They try to recruit. They would try to recruit. I'm fairly certain of it. But
Nazi neighbors ain't even gonna fuck with me. So,
well, here's the thing: do you want to punish, or do you want to fix the problem? Well, which one would you prefer? Because sometimes you only have a choice of one. Would you rather fix the problem or punish the wicked? After
today, talking about how they're child Nazis, I don't know how to fix the problem, because people keep teaching their kids this bullshit, Terry.
And you know what? A lot of people taught me a lot of things growing up, and I rebelled against most of it. Once you start getting your own sentence or sentience, and you start making your own opinions, and you develop your own personality, you abandon a lot of this shit. When I was a teenager, I loved country music. Now I can't stand it, but that's how we do. That's how we develop.
Like, trust the process. All right.
Trust the process. Trust your neighbor. Keep up with it, honkies.
Harry, you got any bookings coming up? I know you were just in New York. You got anything in Tennessee yet?
No, nothing in Tennessee yet. We just got back from New York. We're finally getting our stuff. We've been living bohemian style here with just sitting on camping chairs and air mattresses. But we finally get our stuff tomorrow. So that'd be great.
I thought you already had your stuff. Okay.
No, we couldn't get the pod back because we had to go to New York. So
what a good weekend to get out of town.
Yeah, I know it was totally it was very chaotic, but the pod comes tomorrow. Excited about that. And don't forget to go on Amazon and buy the book. It's Unclaimed Ashes by Terry Wayne. It's very affordable.
There you go. Go buy Unclaimed Ashes by Terry Wayne. Jeff, you can follow him at The Powerful Comedy. And I have a couple of things coming up this week. My busiest week I've had since I've become a comedian. I'm at Red Bar tonight. On Friday, no, I'm sorry, on Wednesday, I'm at a kava bar in Naples or Fort Myers. Thursday, I can't tell you. Don't tell. If you know what that means. And then Friday, I'm in Broward at the Stash. So you follow me already, so just check out my page to know where I'm at. Other than that, thank you, Jeff. You've been an amazing guest. I'm glad we got you before you left town in person. And until next week.
We're sorry for the audio and visual quality.
All right. Bye-bye, Terry. All right. Bye, Terry.
All right. Have a good set, guys. Jeff, best of luck to you, man.
Thanks, man.
I'll hit you up when I'm there next.